Okay, this is a tutorial of Paul Simon's St. Judy's Comet. I posted an arrangement of this on YouTube 6 or 7 months ago, and I got a couple requests to post a tutorial because I had cut off the guitar below where the camera picked up. It helps in this tune if you have a halfway decent jazz chord vocabulary. If you don't, then I will do my best to get you started in that direction. A lot of the stuff that is in this song is beyond just major and minor triads. You've got the song is actually based on an E9 chord. There is a G sharp flat 13. You've got C minor 7 over G sharp. Just things that are not necessarily your standard triads. So we'll go through all that. The entire tune is the way that I play it. I do it a pretty standard finger pick pattern. What I do is not exactly what Paul Simon's doing. It's not exactly what Kenny Loggins did with that song when he did an arrangement of it about 20 years later after the original came out. But I don't know, it's kind of a hybrid. I try not to do things that sound exactly like the original, but my ear tends sometimes to lead me in that direction, so it probably leans a little bit more towards what Paul Simon did with it than what Kenny Loggins did with it. Anyway, the finger pick pattern is fairly simple. It is a thumb, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, pinch. Sometimes he'll pinch things, whether it's pinching with the first or the thumb and the third finger, or pinching with the thumb and the fourth finger. Then you know, it alternates going back and forth between those. But basically, here's what it sounds like with the chord. I'm doing there is thumb, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb 1, and then this is a pinch with the ring finger and the thumb on the outside strings. I'm also lifting off and hammering on with my ring finger here. Now the chord that this is all based on, this is in the key of E, but it's not just an E major triad, it's an E9 chord, which is an E7th chord with an F sharp on top. The way that you would finger that is it's a standard E7 voicing. Okay, the top or the bottom four strings musically are E, B, D, G sharp, and then the top two strings are just like the top two strings of a D chord, a D and an F sharp, but they're refingered with the pinky and the ring finger. Okay, so you put the E7 part here and the top part of the D on the top two strings, and you get this. It's an E9 chord. All I'm doing there is lifting off the ring finger. Oh, little sleepy boy, do you know what time it is? Well, the hour of your bedtime's long been past. And then the next chord is an A major 7. Okay, all an A major 7 is you take an A chord, you lower this A right here to a G sharp. Okay. Okay. So the hour of your bedtime's long been past. The nice thing about that is you already have the first finger on the G sharp from whenever you were playing the E9. All right. The next chord is an A minor. I play it on the 5th fret just because of where it's going next. It's a little bit easier to go to the next chord from here. Just a straight E minor chord or A minor chord. The hour of your bedtime's long been past. Though I know you fight it. Okay, that chord. There's your A minor. There is a C sharp with a G sharp in the bass. Fighting it. Alright. Though I know you fight it. Alright. Next, a really, really useful progression. 2-5-1. It's an F sharp minor 7 to a B9 to a straight E triad. Okay, that's a really it's a really common jazz progression. The 2-5-1. This is actually, I think it's a drop 3 voicing. You can Google that. I'm not going to go into the theory behind the voicings for the guitar. But you got This is in a different key. We're not playing this as part of the song, but it's a good thing to know. 2-5-1. Here's your 2. That's a minor 7. The 5 is a 9 chord, which is just an extension of a 7th chord, and then major 7. Voiced like that. You might want to look that up because that's, like I said, that's really useful, and that's basically what's going on here, with the exception of the 3rd chord. Instead of it being an E major 7, it's just an E triad. Okay, so though I know I find it, I can tell when you rub your eyes. Okay, and then what I do is I walk up one note at a time: F sharp, G sharp, and then your A. And these are not chords, just F sharp, G sharp, and then an A major 7. Though I know you find it, I can tell when you rub your eyes that you're fading fast. Oh, fading fast. Right back to the E9. Okay? It does that for the first verse and the second verse, and then the chorus is A major 7. Little boy, won't you lay your body down? Which is all stuff you already know. Little boy, won't you close your weary eyes? Okay, now here's something new material. You have a G sharp flat 13 chord. And the way we're going to hit this is we're going to start with a chord that it leads into, which is actually just a G sharp 7. Okay, that's kind of a different way of playing this same bar chord, G sharp, but it's a little bit more useful because you don't have to move stuff whenever you're move as many things as when you're playing that bar chord, when you're leading into it from the preceding chord. Anyway, the G sharp 7, this is a movable chord. You can move that anywhere all over the fingerboard. I'm playing 4 notes here. I am Xing out the A string. I am not playing the E or the B or the E string. I am playing the bottom string and the 3 middle strings. Okay, you've got root, 7, 3rd, 5th, I believe. Root, 7, 3rd, 5th. So the reason that we did that first is that coming from the G sharp flat 13 is kind of simple if you understand where it's actually going to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep these 2 fingers, and by the way, I probably should tell you, I've got the first finger on the 4th fret of the E string, X out the A string. The middle finger is on the 4th fret of the D string. The pinky is on the 5th fret of the G string, and the ring finger is on the 4th fret of the B string. So, okay, now you're going to keep your first finger and your 3rd finger, or your first finger and your 2nd finger where they are, and you're going to take the ring finger, put it on the 5th fret of the G string, and the pinky on the 5th fret of the B string. Okay, so when you make this progression happen, basically the only note that's changing is this right here. Everything else stays the same, but you have to refinger that that chord in order for it to work. Okay, so that's a G sharp flat 13 to a G sharp 7. Okay, so little boy, won't you lay your body down? Little boy, won't you close your weary eyes? Here it is. Ain't nothing flashing but the, see that? Ain't nothing flashing. Okay, and then next up you have straight minor 7 5-string chords. This is a very common way of playing this. It's based on that probably most commonly used in first position as a B minor, and you lift your pinky off. Okay, but we're starting on the 4th fret, so it's a C sharp minor, and all this does is slide down 4 different times. Okay, so C sharp, C, B, B flat, and then we're back to our A major 7. once I get there, I'm going F sharp to G, just kind of, all right? Not really sure if that's what he does. I like it. It's just something that I've done for years. I'm not sure where I picked it up, whether it was from the original or I did that myself, but probably stole it from him. So this whole section is, little boy, won't you close your weary eyes? Ain't nothing flashing but the fireflies. So that's pretty much it. Your chord vocabulary includes the following. I'll go through them really quickly here. You've got an E9. You've got an A major 7. You've got an A minor played on the 5th fret. Alright? You've got a C sharp minor 7 with a G sharp in the bass. You've got an F sharp minor. Oh, I did not cover this. You've got the F sharp minor, the 2-5-1. You take your middle finger and you put that on the bass string, the low E string. This happens to be on the 2nd fret for this, but this is a movable chord. Okay, and then you X out the A string. You're not playing that at all. Then the ring finger, and I remember that when I was first learning this, this gave me fits, because you've got to train your ring finger to lay flat or kind of lean back a little bit like this, kind of almost, if you're double jointed, it's a little bit easier. But you got to develop the muscle strength to be able to do that, because this ring finger hits these 4 strings. Okay, so you've got that. I actually don't play the top note, but it's part of the chord, so it's probably not a bad idea to be able to get that. Your B9 chord, you take this whole operation right here, you move it up a string, and you put your first finger on the D sharp, which is the D string on the 1st fret. I don't even think I play that, but again, that's part of the chord. It's not a bad idea to have it, so just in case you kind of fumble across it, you're not playing something that's not in the chord. Alright, and then it's just a straight E. So that progression is, okay, we walk up to the A major 7. Okay, next chords in this progression. We've already covered the A major 7. We've already covered that. Okay, everything there is already been has already been covered. You've got a G sharp flat 13, which resolves to a G flat 7. And if you're not really sure why they're called that, I'm not going to go into great detail, but the flat 13 is basically a half step higher than the 5th. If you're playing a 7th chord, the 5th is implied. They don't say that it's got the 5th in there, but it's there. And what you're doing is you're resolving this note right here. Oops. This is the flat 13, which is a half step higher from the 5th, down to the 5th. So that's what's actually happening. All this crazy stuff for really one note moving down chromatically. And then you've got your descending minor 7 chords. Oops. Down to a major 7. That's the whole thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the first verse and the first chorus, and then if you want to see the rest of it, you can go and catch my video on Mark Palmer Music. Actually, on the Mark Palmer Music YouTube channel.
Long been past. Though I know you're fighting, I can tell when you rub your eyes that you're fading fast. Oh, fading fast. Won't you run, come see St. Judy's Comet roll across the sky, and even spray diamonds in its wake. I long to see St. Judy's Comet sparkle in your eye when you won't you lay your body down? Little boy, won't you close your weary eyes? Ain't nothing flashing but the fireflies.
else in the song is just a repetition of what we've already learned there. So I hope this is helpful. If there's anything that I've left out that you'd like to know, drop me a note in the comment section. Please go to my my channel and check out my other videos, and send your friends to do that. Some of my videos have a pathetically low hit count, and I'd kind of like to get that fixed. So good luck. Hope this helps.